Hello everyone and welcome to another review. However, today's one is special because with this video I would like to formally welcome you to Star Fox Summer. For the next couple of months the majority of my output will be focusing on the Nintendo series Star Fox, while also including some other videos for those not interested in the series. However, for today I'll be reviewing the first Star Fox game I ever played. It's the classic game on the N64, Star Fox 64, or Lylat Wars if you're European or Australian. Now this game is a remake of the game on the Super Nintendo. I'll be getting to that game at a later point, so for now I'll be pretending as if this was the first Star Fox game. So any differences between this and the SNES game will be covered in that review. Star Fox is a 3D on-rail shooter in which your playable character, Fox McCloud, shoots down enemy targets in a number of different vehicles. First is the R-Wing, which is a cross between a plane and a spaceship and is also the main vehicle of the game. The R-Wing can use its boost meter to perform 4 special moves to avoid collisions and get the drop on pursuers: boost, brake, the U-turn and a somersault to get behind enemies that were taking up the rear. Second is the Landmaster, which is a tank that is used for 2 levels in the game, Macbeth and Titania. Like the R-Wing, the Landmaster can boost and brake, but it cannot somersault. It can perform a barrel roll, but since it lacks an R-Wing's force field, the Landmaster's barrel roll does not reflect enemy fire. Instead, the barrel roll is used to quickly move across the screen. The Landmaster can also hover a short while. The third and final vehicle is the Blue Marine, which is only used on Aquas and is easily my least favourite craft in the entire game. Okay, let's get into that plot. The game is set in the Lylat system. The ingenious scientist Andros, a native of the 4th planet Corneria, is driven to madness and nearly destroys the planet using biological weapons. For Andros' treason, General Pepper, a hound dog, exiles the scientist to the remote planet Venom. 5 years after Andros' exile, Pepper detects suspicious activity on Venom. Pepper hires the Star Fox team, consisting of James McCloud, Peppy Hare and Pigma Dengar, to investigate. After arriving at Venom, Pigma betrays the team and causes James and Peppy to be captured by Andros. Peppy manages to escape somehow and tells James's son, Fox McCloud, about his father's fate. A few years later, Andros launches an attack across the Lylat system. Realising that the Cornerian army cannot possibly stop Andros, Pepper summons the new Star Fox team, now consisting of Fox, Peppy, Falco Lombardi and Slippy Toad. As Star Fox, it's your job to go planet to planet in the Lylat system and destroy the enemy forces. Eventually you'll reach Venom and fight Andros in a 1-to-1 fight to the death. A feature that was unique to Star Fox 64 at the time was the branching pathway system. There are multiple ways of completing a level which influences what level you tackle next, and in the end determines what ending you'll get. Using the first level, Corneria, as an example, there are 2 possible pathways out of the level. You can simply finish the level normally and kill the boss. This takes you to Meteo. However, if you save Falco from getting shot down and then fly under these arches flawlessly, Falco will show you another route, and this lets you fight a different boss who, when defeated, lets you access the level Sector Y. After all these years, I don't understand why I need to fly under these arches perfectly to get to a different level. Do I need Falco's respect to save the Lylat system?
Hold still and let me shoot you!
Alright, Falco, you dick. This is where some of the challenge comes from when playing Star Fox 64. Some of the level requirements can get a little bit bloody stressful. Take Zonus for example. The level requirement in this is not getting spotted by any of the searchlights. This can get really tight if your reflexes aren't up to snuff. Or they can get incredibly trippy.
This is indeed a disturbing universe.
There's also something to be said for how memorable this game actually is. The concept was bizarre even for the time. Animals flying in ships and shooting at each other. I can't see anything wrong with that. Allegedly, Shigeru Miyamoto wanted the Star Fox series to star animal characters since he just wasn't interested in making a series with conventional science fiction stories with humans, robots, monsters and superheroes. The decision to use a fox as a main character was also influenced by Fushimi Inari Taishi, which is a shrine nearby the Nintendo corporate headquarters which has a fox statue and multiple archers. The archers also inspired some of the gameplay. Now if there's something I love in Star Fox besides this really great gameplay, it's the deliciously cheesy voice acting and the really, really bad dialogue. Just listen to some of this.
We need your help, Star Fox! My Emperor! I failed you! Can't let you do that, Star Fox. Cocky little freak! Time to show the monkeys who's boss!
You just can't make up something like this. Going back to the gameplay, however, I would like to elaborate on some of it. Star Fox's gameplay is just something so incredibly fun and addictive that I'm just struggling to come up with ways to explain it besides go and play it. The control is still something that I feel is tuned to near perfection. It's heavy enough that it feels like I'm like really controlling that ship. That's not to say that the Landmaster and the Blue Marine control badly, it's just that I feel the R-Wing was the thing that had the most time spent on it, considering you're in it for pretty much the whole game. The immersion I mentioned earlier is actually helped by the inclusion of the Rumble Pack, which slotted into the back of the N64 controller. It responds to collisions and laser hits within the game by giving the player physical feedback. It may seem like a simple thing now, but at the game's release the Rumble Pack was revolutionary and was a selling point for it. Another innovation that the game brought was production values. Staggered throughout the game is use of full motion video animation, eloquent cinematic sequences that wrap the gameplay up in a rich storyline, setting each mission with the right mood. To put some of this in perspective, the N64 uses 8MB cartridges. Star Fox 64's cartridge contains almost 3MB of straight sound, and each of the 23 characters has, as it were, something to say. Nintendo recognised that sound was a huge part of the immersive experience, so I'm glad attention was made here. I'm sorry if this review seemed a bit scattershot and all over the place, but when I was writing I found it hard to kind of structure my thoughts coherently, so I just decided to make a list of what I liked and just talk about it. However, I do have some problems with the game. The gameplay, while good, can be incredibly repetitive. While the alternative paths can sometimes give you a different challenge, you are basically doing the same thing if you decide to pick the easy route. The game is also incredibly short. If you pick the easy route, you can have it done in about half an hour. If you try for the true ending, then 44 minutes or an hour is what you're looking at. I'll admit I did stretch a little bit for these negatives because to me personally they don't bother me. Like, for example, the gameplay, while repetitive, to me I just enjoy it, and the shortness of the game just kind of adds to that addictive factor, which to me is not really a negative. If you couldn't tell from this review, then I absolutely adore this game. Even after so many years, the game still looks, sounds and feels great to me, and I can pick it up and play it now and still have a lot of fun with it. It's an iconic game that has contributed a lot to gaming culture through innovations or simply through character dynamics, and I do feel it deserves to be seen for this. If you haven't played this game already, then I urge you to either get it on the Virtual Console, get the 3DS remake, or get an original N64 and pretend it's 1997 all over again. I'm sorry if this review was, like I said earlier, a bit all over the place, but I honestly did try my hardest to try and communicate to you what it was I loved about the game. If you're still not convinced, then why not check out my Let's Play of this game, which premieres tomorrow. In it, I'll go into a little bit more detail about what I like about the game, while also having some trivia and some general humour kind of sprinkled on, really. However, for now I say goodbye, and I'll see you in the next review.